Kimu SDC with you here today, and I'm gonna start it off with a PLH. Peace, love, and happiness with you all day, every day. And we got some really important stuff to talk about. The last chakra of the chakra series, and this one is probably the most, it actually is the most chakra to fully activate, balance, and maintain. And that chakra is the Crown Chakra. Now, this chakra is represented by the color purple. So when we think about the rainbow, purple is on the lowest but has the highest frequency. And it is located at the top of the head, crown, and is correlated to the endocrine gland, the pituitary gland. Now, what attributes are associated with this chakra is basically transcendence or divine unity, cosmic energy, cosmic order, all of those things that have to do with the, as we would call it, the outer space, but the heavens. And what blocks it is the things that ground us to the physical world, things that we become attached to, things that we associate ourselves with, or that makes us seem like we're whole. And with those being in place, our connection to the things that seem like they make us who we are, that's what holds us down to this earth, that physical world. And I've learned along my journey that once I began to actually wake up and go on this journey of enlightenment, I began to realize that we're all multidimensional beings. We exist in this physical world, but we also exist in the spiritual world. But I've also realized that we're taught to believe that we're three separate people, when in all we have three separate existences, but in one body. Kind of as if you think about it, if you think about the earth and the layers that it has, in the middle you have the core of the earth, which basically drives the temperature and basically the mood of the other layers. And then we have the layers in between, in which that would be our mind, basically the bridge between the spiritual world and the physical world. And then we have the crust of the earth, which is the physical world. If we had to have some type of association with what I'm talking about. Now, this is very hard to obtain because we're programmed to be attached to things, to be passionate about things, and when we love out of connection and attachment rather than loving just to love for what it is and accept it for what it is instead of just tolerating it for what it is. And along my journey, I had to definitely dive in and reprogram myself to let things be, let things carry the energy that it has. Detach yourself from what those things are, from this physical world, and life became more meaningful in that way. I know that when I began to dive into having a much more simple life and doing a whole lot of purging of things that I have that I don't even need, and which I'm still doing. But it was, in the beginning, it was hard because it was like, oh man, this has so much significance to who I was, or I can't get rid of this because this has this special place in my heart. And of course, it's definitely an ongoing process, but it's definitely well worth it. I realized that I'm able to go through things that I have and say, I don't need this. And because it doesn't make me who I am. Who I am is this wonderful, great energy, woo, that I'm giving to you right now. All this positive energy. And when you realize that who you are is all that you need, you begin to have less passion and express more compassion. And it pretty much ties in all the chakras together, but it also helps sublime the ego. That fear, that anxiety, those sexual drives, any of those desires, and our desire to control what's external to ourselves. And once you sublime that, it becomes much easier to open up the other chakras. And with the crown chakra being what it is and being on that frequency, it's just a different experience when you're able to transcend. For me, I'm not completely there, but I'm definitely working towards having divine unity and basically being in a state of true bliss, true love I express every day, highest frequency that you could be on. Just a side note, I actually was listening to one of Erykah Badu's albums, and it's the one Return of the Ankh. And she has a song on there called Love. And it really made me think because I never really listened to the song. But it says that everything that we go through, everything that we express, and this is paraphrasing, is either on two frequencies, love and hate. And when I chose to express love, I was able to reach much higher frequencies because now everything I do is out of love. Everything that I do and expressing the positive energy is through love. And having compassion and love for everything helps you transcend through the chakras and helps you basically surrender to your life, the path that you're going on. I know that worrying, having anxiety, it really put me in situations where I started resisting how I was supposed to move throughout my life, resisting my path, resisting my journey, resisting the cosmic order, what the divine has in store for me. And once I began to let go of those worries, that anxiety, I was able to just flow, just like water. Water just flows. No matter what you put in front of it, it's still going to flow. It's still going to move and be what it is. And that is really the way that the crown chakra works, is you just flow with the path that you're taking. You can definitely have goals, you have visions. You want to be at a certain place in your life. You want to be a certain person. But allow life to take you on that journey. I realized in my journey that once I saw myself being a certain person and being at a certain point in my life and just let life take me where it's going to take me on whatever avenue, road, whatever it may be, I knew I was going to get there. And the more roadblocks that you put in your path, the more difficult it becomes. Think of it like this. Think of yourself as a stream or a river, whatever you wish to compare yourself in for this analogy. You're flowing down the stream, and then you begin to throw rocks in your way. The rocks are the obstacles, stones, whatever it may be. those things are the obstacles. But you don't just stop because that rock, that boulder, whatever has been placed in front of you, you go around it. You continue to flow. And in an instance where a dam is put in front of you, where you put a dam in front of yourself, you're still going to flow. You may flow outward, but it's going to go to a point where either you go over the dam or you just continue to go out until you go around the dam. But whatever it is, you're still going to continue to flow. And once I really actually analyzed that comparison and in the process of thinking it up, I really began to allow myself to just flow like water does. Yes, it is very difficult. And sometimes I do get into a habit of putting like little small pebbles into my stream, but nothing too significant where it's going to disrupt me and disallow me to continue to move the way that the universe wants me to. So, with that being said, try your best to give yourself to the path to what the universe has in store for you. Because staying grounded, and I know once I detach myself from things and begin to have compassion for those things, it became a whole lot easier. I know that the biggest step that I did to reach this point is just purging, getting rid of those things that connect us to this physical world. Also, treating everybody the same way. When I began to treat everybody in the same way with nothing but love, because I love everyone, you begin to break that association from yourself with whatever that object is. And then you're able to just move the way that life wants you to move. So try to basically surrender to your life path, whatever that may be. Surrender to the journey. Stop putting those obstacles in your way for you to create resistance, for you to try to bend your way around them. Just let it. That is what I want to emphasize to you as a daily goal. Go ahead, start getting rid of things. Once you make a goal to get rid of one thing, it becomes a whole lot easier. I know that I was speaking with one person and she said that she was moving and getting rid of some things, but every year she makes a goal to get rid of a certain amount of things. I was like, that's a really good idea. And it actually helps get to that point of the crown chakra, help open it up so that way the divine energy flows throughout your body and you just give it back. But you give it back through action, you give it back through vibration, you give it back through the energy that you send out to the universe. And of course you get that back in return. But I encourage you to try your best to open your 7th chakra, the crown chakra. Surrender to life. Stop creating that resistance. And then we'll all be able to go like, whoo! Kimu SDC with you here. PLH, peace, love, and happiness all day, every day. Peace.